Hello everyone, my name is Raj Pagare and today I am going to talk about two very important layout system in modern web design, Flexbox and CSS. These tools help developers to create responsive and clean structured layout easily. Let's begin. First, understanding CSS layout techniques initially founding for modern web design. Before we go into Flexbox and Grid, it's important to understand why layout techniques matter. In web design, layout determine how content appear on the screen. How content appear on the screen size like laptop, tablets, and mobiles, and it should be user friendly and more organized and good layout system. Now let's see important of layout systems. So traditional methods like sorts or tables had many limitations. They were difficult to control and not responsive enough. Modern layout systems like Flexbox and Grid solve this problem. They help us to arrange elements smoothly and make the layout adapt to any screen size. As you can see, image layout now adjusts beautifully across devices. We can see in tablets, laptop, computer, mobiles. Understanding Flexbox in CSS layout. Let's start with Flexbox. Flexbox is a one-dimensional layout system. This means it works in a single direction at a time, either horizontally or vertically. It is ideal for creating responsive layouts where items need to be adjusted automatically based on available space. Understanding Flexbox in CSS. Okay, so let's start Flexbox. Flexbox helps when we want item to be arranged neatly in a one dimension. For example, if we want a navigation bar, a row of buttons, or an item that resides on a small screen. So Flexbox make it very simple. It is powerful, flexible, and removes all the problem where we faced older methods. To work with Flexbox effectively, we need to understand two main concepts: the main axis and the cross axis. Let's understand by this diagram. This is the main axis, and this is cross axis. But when we set the properties uh, to be the flag direction to be row, if we set to be column, so it going to be main axis and it going to be cross axis. It depend on the how we set the properties of uh, flag direction. It depends on it. Now we directly jump into the properties of flag box. Okay, so first we discuss the flag direction. Display flags. This is property which activate flag box. Without this flag box feature, we won't work on it. Flag direction. The this control the direction of items. We can set to be row reverse, column, or column reverse. Justify content. This property align item along the main axis. It could be if the direction is column, so it depend on it. Okay, now important flagbox properties explained. Align item. This property align item along the cross axis. For example, vertically centralized item become very easy to use. Flex wrap. This allow item to move into the new line. If there is not enough space without wrapping, item may get squeezed. We will do the practical part of it now. Gap. Instead of using margin, we can simply use gap. In Flex give this property to use gap between two items. Flexbox use cases. Flexbox is best used for one-dimensional layout like navbar, toolbar, card, button. Now, centering content. One of the biggest advantage of Flexbox is how easily it centers content with both horizontal or vertically. In traditional CSS, centering was very difficult, but with Flexbox, a couple of lines of CSS we can place item perfectly in the center of the screen, like you can see in this diagram. Now let's start grid. Grid is two-dimensional layout system. Its meaning it can handle row or column both in at the same time. This makes it perfect for complex page layouts. CSS Grid gives us to full control over web pages structure. We can define rows, columns, gaps, areas very easily. It is extremely useful for design complete web page layout like dashboard, gallery, structure designs. Key concept of CSS Grid. Grid work with track, cells, and grid areas. A track is how a column or a cell is single interaction point, and grid area allow us to combine multiple assets like form, larger layout sections, and thus give us a strong, flexible layout system. So to summarize this, Flexbox is great for one-dimensional layout, while Grid is perfect for two-dimensional layouts. Now do some practical part of it. Let's practice it. So this is our code. We have divs, and this is the main container, and this is the item of its flex items. Let's see how our web pages look like. Then we go to apply Flexbox properties on it. So let's see, this is the main container and this is the flex items on it. We have 5 boxes on it. We apply the flex properties on it. So let's begin. First of all, we set the display flex, so it gives way to apply the properties of flex. Now first of all, we have the flex direction. We can set its row. Now let's see what happened on our web page. As you can see, there is no changes because the flexbox direction row is default. This is default. If we change into column, so let's see what happened on our web page. Let's reset. Wait a minute, something is wrong. Let's check again what happened. So this is row. We said flag direction is row. Now let's see our web page. So yes, we set in a one row of 5 boxes. एक ही रो में सेट कर दिया. Now we change into column. Apply column. Now let's see what happened on our page. As you can see, अब ये column में आ चुके हैं. There are some more properties on it, like row reverse. So what happened? Let's see. The the boxes are shown in reverse order. Now there is box 5, box 4, box 3, box 2, and box 1. And same there is column reverse, column reverse. So okay. Now let's do some more properties of Flexbox. Now we go to the justify content. Before we go to justify content, we set on it. Now let's justify content. When we set space between, it is evenly distributed from start to end. Let's see what happened on web page. Yes, as you can see, it evenly distributed on starting to end. I will show the diagram how the properties. When we set space between into center, it all the items are in center. Some more properties of it. Let's space around. So let's see how it looks. Space around it. It's the same evenly distributed but not from start. Now some more properties like space around, space evenly भी होता है space evenly. It's also same as space around. Let's see what happened. Same. And there is also one property that is like flex start and flex end. Flex start. Let's see on page what happened. This is start from it. All the boxes are together to left side and start side and sorry the no. Now we set is flex in, so it go to the right side of the page. That's it. Now let's remove this line and goes to other properties of align items. If we center align item, let's see what happened. It goes to the center of this size, and if we set start, so it goes to upper ऊपर की साइड चला जाएगा. Let's see on the page. Same as if we set end, flex end. Now it come to the low part of the container below. Same is stretch. By default it's stretch. This is the default properties of align items. There is no change. Okay, now I think we go to the other other properties too. Okay, there is flex wrap. Let's see what happens. Inspect it. Inspect. Yes. So what happens when we set the wrap? When we do the changes on the size, it all goes to the down. But if we remove the properties of wrap, but let's see what happens. Okay, we remove the property. Now let's see what happens. Okay, when we sketch, there is no it goes to outside the box, the main container. As you can see, the box 5 it goes out of the main container, but when we set property wrap, it cannot go to the outside the box. It adjusts on the main container. Okay, these are the all are the properties of the Flexbox. Let's okay. There are some more properties of gap and I just forget about it. Okay, let's discuss gap properties. Before that, we remove the paddings and margins. Alright. Okay, now we set gap 10 feet. What happens? Let's see. Space around. Let's remove these two. Okay, let's save it. And okay, as you can see, there is the margin between two boxes item. It gives the properties. We also use padding or margin, but there is properties. Okay, now let's go to the grid. Okay, so this is our let's see, first of all let's see our bench how it looks. Thank you so much. These are the properties of grid and Flexbox.